Alright, everyone. Uh, we know we've won the title, it's in the bag, it's done. But how did we perform on the day? Well, this is Anvil had some player ratings, and let's have a look at what they've given the players. I thought we were pretty much in control throughout. I'm trying to think, is there anybody in that game that started under an 8 or a 9? I don't think we had any 7 out of 10s in that starting 11. I really don't. Let's have a look, see what they've got. Ali, they've given 8 out of 10. They said he couldn't do anything about the header. Well, he couldn't. That just came out the blue. And they said it had little else to do, difficult to read. He said, what I find hilarious here is the only other thing that found the back of the net was a balloon. Trent, 8. Canate, 8, and they say gave Spurs nothing. Van Dijk, 8. Andy Robertson, 8. Yeah, I don't think Robert was ever troubled. Never same with Trent, really. Grav, they gave an 8. Maka, 9. I can't fault any of these. Maka was absolutely sensational. I mean, he's been incredible. What a buy he has been. I didn't know it was also a first left-footed goal. Dom had 8. It says here the pressing was the kind of thing this Tottenham team don't like, and he did. You could see it in some of the goals as well. He had one of his best games. Mo, 9. He had an amazing game, did Mo. He also had one of the best celebrations I've seen in a game. Luis Diaz, 8. Cody Gakpo, 8. Those two I'd like to put between 8 and 9 because well, for example, Cody Gakpo, he was on fire earlier in the season. He had the injury with his foot just before the Carabao Cup, and he hasn't really got back into his stride, but he was definitely back to his best. Overall team performance, 10. They sealed the title. You can't say anymore. What did they give the subs? Jota, who came on 68 minutes, they gave him a 7. That's I can't really remember much of what he did, but maybe that's because of the atmosphere. Curtis Jones, same time, came on 7. Yeah, I'd say that's fair. I could remember him. Harvey Elliott, 40 minutes to go, had a 7. And yeah, he did look like there was an incident where Nunes was involved and should have scored, should have shot, but he passed it. I think Elliott was involved there. Otorendo, 7. Do you know what? I'd like to give him an 8. Came on, did his job, no messing. He's become so popular. I think some of his recent performances, he may have just earned him a chance to stay. Maybe he's starting to surprise people. Darwin Nunes came on at 83 minutes. They said not available. I'd give him a 5. But yeah, that's the player ratings. But it was a sensational performance, I think. Yes, going behind was a bit of a shock. And then, obviously, we got back into it fairly quickly, which was crucial. But what probably boosted those ratings up was that electricity from the crowd when Diaz scored. The crowd knew, I think, when the second goal went in, and then the third, I think the atmosphere was just... The crowd beat Tottenham as well that day. The crowd were 10 out of 10. They heard Virgil van Dijk's message, and boy did they respond to it. I remember watching Fulham was being disappointed, watching West Ham being nervy, watching Leicester being a bit nervy. But that game was a joy to watch. We were good. And I don't think we were even at our best on Sunday. We can play much better than that. And that is the worry. There's a lot of games we've played this season and won. And I don't think we've been at our best throughout the season. I don't think we've seen the best of this side yet. And that is quite frightening. Now, if we get the right players in the summer in the right positions, that squad can be absolutely amazing. Now, I played on the live stream yesterday, I played a clip from Pep Guardiola's post-match from the semi-final, and he said worthy champions, and he was under the belief we could probably win it again next year and retain it, because that team are good. That team are really good. We haven't been pressured really. There's been a drop off from Arsenal, there's been a drop off from City. Chelsea didn't really push to any note. Newcastle could have done more, but we're 15 points clear with 4 to play. It's on target to become the 5th best points total if we win all the games. But we haven't been pushed, and we've still produced a monumental season. Maybe if we'd been pushed, we would have played even better. I don't know, but I think those ratings sort of sum up the season. As a whole, complete package. Yes, we had a wobble March time. But by God, when that team were needed, they got the results out the bag. But yeah, let's look at the match ratings anyway. Alright guys, thank you very much.